Hi there, and welcome to the I'll Try That podcast. This week, well, this has been the past three. It's just been me and you, Mr. Barber, isn't it?
Yeah, those lucky listeners, eh?
Yeah, who doesn't want to have our dulcet tones regularly or weekly? This is...
that regularly.
That regularly. I do.
Joe's going to come and spoil it next time, I think, is he?
Yeah, that's it. I think Joe is... We are recording a few episodes tonight. Joe said he is going to join us again, but once again, he's chosen family over the boys.
Outrageous.
Yeah, absolutely outrageous. How are you, Matt, anyway? How are you?
Not bad,
how's your week
actually,
been?
Yeah, good, thank you. Busy one. You mentioned family there. I was thinking about Joe's extended family. I had a real revelation this week that I meant to make you aware of. I don't know if I put this. We have a WhatsApp group. I think I meant to put it in there. I don't know if I actually did. It was just a thought that I didn't actually vocalize. But when we eventually have our own brewery, it occurred to me that I'm going to check. You've frozen up on my screen.
I'm still here.
You're still
there.
here.
Don't worry. Still there. Don't
you can
don't
still
worry
hear
about
me.
it.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
When we have our own brewery, we're going to have to call it Black Dog Brewery because we all have black dogs.
That is a excellent idea.
It's also the name of a Led Zeppelin song, and I therefore think it's really cool.
I like that. Yeah. The Black Dog. The Black Dog. Do you reckon that name's already been taken?
It does have that feel to it, doesn't it? There must have been someone because we had Dog on a Tin Roof.
Yeah,
the other week, didn't we?
And there is a pub literally 2 minutes from my flat called the Black Dog Pub.
Okay, we're gonna have to go to that next time we're away, aren't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a thought I had. We're some way off actually having our own brewery, I think, but we'll just put it in the bank for later on.
I like that. Yeah, one day when one of us actually wins the lottery or wins big, we should. It'd be rude not to open our own brewery, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think it's got to be done, and that's what the name is because we all got black dogs.
I like that. Well, okay. Well, anyway, talking as much as great our dogs are, we should probably move on to what we are reviewing today. And we are revisiting Salt, which is a brewery we did way back near the start of our podcast, before Matt even joined us. This was in the Simo days.
Heady days.
The heady days.
That's a beer pun as well.
Yeah, we were young and dumb and new and brand new to podcasting. It was a new medium back then. How things have changed.
It's only fair to give Salt another bite at the cherry. With me talking about it. But
what I enjoy is with reviewing it's called their Casual Pale, but it is a collaboration between Salt and Lidl.
Yeah, they only brewed this to be sold in Lidl, right?
Yes, that's it. Which I think is pretty cool. That it is. Yeah,
we know how hardcore a fan of Lidl you are.
Oh, I was literally in Lidl a couple of days ago, having a wonderful time, and they've still got it in there, which is cool. See, it's brewed exclusively for Lidl, which I quite like, which is quite cool. It's a bit like Stewart Brewing, brewed exclusively. In fact, I brought some of Stewart Brewing. Sorry to completely go off track here, from Lidl. I was like, I recognise these guys. I'm going to buy some.
There we go. Yeah. That's good. You also referred back to a previous episode when she mentioned it. I love that as a callback.
It's a callback. Yeah.
Would you like me first before we talk more about Salt? Would you like me to? Should we? We got to get this. We got to get this hot topic done, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Let's push through it.
Yeah, we kind of. It's a good one. We have to do it because Joe would veto it otherwise. So we're going to do it when he's not on.
Yeah. So we all know Tsingtao. I think that's how we pronounce it. I think Joe told me how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
Which we did an episode on years and years ago. Hands up, everyone. Actually, I'll say that like everyone's seen it. Maybe some listeners have. I never saw this. But who is familiar with the video about the Tsingtao worker that came out virally this last week?
And I am once again from the purveyor of news, Lad Bible, and was where I got it from.
Oh, okay. This is me going to act like I'm all highbrow. I saw it on BBC News.
Oh, very nice.
Mind you, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into different news outlets, but just yesterday, there's been a little shot of the behaviour of a disgruntled worker at the Tsingtao Brewery. And it's on the back of an argument with a truck driver. I'm afraid going number one in a Tsingtao beer tank. And yes, we just felt that this news has been out there, and to not mention it is a dereliction of duty. Not what anyone wants to see, but mildly funny. there you go. That's about the size of it, isn't it, really? Probably don't even need to go into it much more detail than that.
It's just an absolutely bold move to whip it out and just go into the beer.
There are ways of... So I meant to also check, because I thought that potentially it was a tanker that contained ingredients and it had at least been emptied.
Oh, okay.
As I understand. I mean, because the video I found doesn't make it look very clear, because it's just a massive, almost like bigger than a shipping container and just like open topped, and it's just sort of kind of orangey in colour in there. And I understood it was that the contents had been taken out, fortunately. But I mean, there are ways to air your grievances. There's normally a solid HR procedure in there. I don't think that just relieving yourself in unsanitary conditions is the way to do it. But someone tell that to Mr. Queen, I think it was his surname. Apparently he fell out with a truck driver and then just decided this was his only course of action. I don't think he works there anymore now, though.
It'd be questionable if the Tsingtao company kept him on. But I tell you what, this brings this. I went on a ghost tour of Weymouth. Don't worry, this does relate back.
You're going to bring it back
round the topic. Okay. I'm going to bring it back round. Don't worry. So I did a ghost tour in Weymouth, and I learned two things on this ghost tour. Apparently, most of the ghosts in Weymouth come out in February.
Well, obviously.
Well, that's clearly the time. Clearly, the time for haunting. But the second thing was Weymouth used to have a very famous brewery. When you boys next come down, I'll show you it. But it used to have a very famous brewery, and it was well known for its Christmas beer that it used to brew every single year.
Uh-huh.
And one day, the brewery owner brought his daughter to work, and he went round patrolling around the factory, and he told his daughter, "Do not leave my office. Whatever you do not leave the office. It's a dangerous factory." Everything like that. Come to an hour or so later, he comes back and he finds his daughter is missing from the office. Suddenly, the whole factory goes into lockdown. Everything like that. No one can find his daughter or anything like that.
Oh, crumbs!
So cut to Christmas time, and that year's batch of Christmas beer was commented to be the best beer that brewery has ever brewed. Come to the end of it, they've completely and utterly drained out the brewing facility, and they find the daughter in the bottom of the brewing tank.
Oh, dude.
It's just...
Oh,
that's bad, isn't it?
that is bad.
That is bad. And supposedly you can hear on certain nights, if you're walking past, you can hear the laughing and running of a small child and then a splash.
Bloody hell. That's brutal.
That is brilliant, isn't it?
After the splash, can you also hear a blub, 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 blub. Sorry, too soon. Too soon. After the story.
I thought, well, as soon as you mentioned we were talking about unsavoury things inside beer containers, that story popped into my head.
Yeah, God, I thought it was something we might have talked about. I was going to try and keep it more lighthearted than that.
No. But,
bloody hell.
Yeah, but imagine it. The worst part was it was supposedly the best tasting beer.
That was a bit. That thought was in my head, but I couldn't quite articulate it as well. Everyone was going, "Oh, yum yum!" Like,
yeah,
oh, dude. You can imagine these stories happen with, like, someone accidentally dropped their watch in, or I mean, with that, the stories of all that kind of like hygiene stuff. Your mind immediately races to, like, Kentucky Fried Mouse. Yeah, there's a thing about that in a film or something, isn't there? Oh, I don't want a person falling in. That's no good.
But it brings you back round to the question: was imagine Tsingtao never found out that somebody had weed into their tanker, that then brewed it with the wee in it. Are they missing a trick that Tsingtao could have brewed the tastiest batch of beer they've ever brewed?
Do you think that maybe it would have a positive impact? Well, I'm worried it might be a taste a bit ammonia, like
ammonia. Well, I don't know. We're talking dead body. Who knows what's in that?
Oh, blimey. Joe would definitely veto this.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I was going to say, that apparently Tsingtao said that this gentleman was actually not a direct employee of theirs and was like third-party contractor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shifting of materials. But I don't know, to me that all kind of sounds like watering down what would be quite a bad bit of PR anyway. But good, we'll draw a line under that. We'll go back to salt.
Draw a line under that one. We'll get back to salt.
Slightly, I'm really enjoying this. You're not. We've had a bit of a calamity with your can of casual pale, right?
So Salt has brewed my favourite ever beer I've ever tasted on this podcast.
I'm going to be saying,
which was the Nipa, which was when I discovered the Nipa, and it's brewed by Salt, and it was absolutely amazing. And I was genuinely excited to have this can, and I took a sip of it, and I was like, oh, took another sip, and I was like, oh no, this can't be right. and then after discussion with yourself, Matt, I've discovered I believe my can is tainted, and it is not. It isn't. It's not a good beer. It's a bad one.
You've got an off one.
I've got an off one, yeah.
We did say with all the beers that have been tasted over the course of the episode, this is the first one in memory that's actually been off. And that's not in many ways that's not too bad, is it? Unfortunate for Salt that happened to them. I mean, their sales will go through the floor now, but you're batting above your average, I think. Yeah, would have said, wouldn't you? A testament to all the breweries that we've tasted in this whole time that their quality control is obviously pretty solid. I think we have our beers, because this is part of our beer swap plan.
Beer swap.
These were, I imagine, purchased by you all at the same time.
Yes,
and I think we even have the same expiry date on our cans, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And
yeah, so
within that,
it's the same.
Yeah, and unless my taste buds have completely failed, you're just the unlucky one who's not really worked for.
Yeah, and I'm really annoyed because I really do enjoy Lidl and I enjoy Salt, and I was excited, so I'm going to have to go back and purchase the Salt Casual Pale. Definitely,
I think it's well worth it. I started sipping it, and then I heard you going, ugh. I went, well, it's not that bad. And good to see that you're still trying to drink it. What are you doing?
I just wanted just in case I'd messed up in my head, but I haven't.
No,
it's awful. It's so bad. I just don't think they would. I don't think they would put what I'm drinking out there.
Well, you can see mine. You've got no. Your head is completely gone.
No,
I've got some. Did we decide it was called silk? You know, when the head stays down the side of the glass as you go. We did that in an episode a very long time ago. Well, I mean, the taste is going to be your biggest.
Yeah,
but really nice, actually. Casual is a very, very apt name. I'm gonna do the review for both of us here, mate.
You sit back for 5. Yeah.
Woo! Really nice, yeah. And it's that kind. It's excuse me. It's the one that can step in to replace your normal lager that you would drink as a gentle 4% jobby, and just has a little bit more hoppiness and a bit juicier. More citrusy than the lager, again without the going full tilt, 4.5% upper fives. And actually, I was thinking about it. They've also plugged the kind of adjectives I think that they even sort of ascribe to this beer, like easy, crisp, fresh, clean, and that's always one for me. Particularly, we are recording on a Friday night here. Those are adjectives I listen to. I go, okay, actually, that's the sort of thing I'm looking for. Particularly, sort of Friday night long day, and you maybe on the early part of a session where you might have a few. This just sets you off quite nicely, I think.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm very jealous. is my main take, because that sounds fantastic.
Well, you'll have to go and have another go last time. I did. You mentioned earlier also that I was not on the episode when we talked about Salt before, so it's for my benefit as much as anything. I can't remember who Salt are and what they do, but were they on the industrial site or something? Salt, I think.
Yeah. So no, they were on. Oh, what was it? Wait there. So they are on a Yorkshire heritage site, not an industrial site.
It was an industrialist.
Yes, that was it. Yeah,
who built the village they were from, wasn't it? And I think that's where the name Salt came from. He was Mr. Salt, wasn't he?
Yeah, after the pioneering industrialist who built the village we first called home.
Oh, it's like a Reddit.
It's like. But yeah, we've also we tried Salt at the craft beer festival.
Yeah,
as well. They're the ones who have the cool room with the cornhole and all of the stickers, and it's all quite bright and lovely in there.
That was that was really so. I think we had that Nipa because I remember you saying it was like your favourite you'd ever had, and that was beautiful actually, wasn't it?
They're just a banging beer. They're just I just love Salt, and I'm really upset that I picked this specifically because I love Salt so much.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have another opportunity. I mean, you said they're still stocking it, Lidl, so
that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm more worried Joe's going to jump in and he's going to have an awful one as well.
Well, actually, that's a good point. We might be able to hear from him any minute. Place bets. Has he got a good one or a bad one? We'll soon see. Oh, here he is. Let's get that. Oh, I don't know if you think you're being recorded or it's going to be a silent contribution from Joe. Hold the line, caller. This just in. He has got the beer. He's got the beer, and Joe, a decision on the beer, a verdict on the beer, pending. Oh, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like he's got a wrong one.
Is yours...
Not to worry.
Is yours just tasting awful, or is it just mine? Nah, yeah. Yeah.
I have a real concern that mine is the same. and I just think it's like, okay.
Well, yeah, so Joe isn't recording this bit, but he just jumped on as we're still chatting, and he's saying he's got a bit of a tinniness and his isn't that great either. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rebuy this beer and I'm going to get it home, stick it in the fridge and then drink it straight away because I've got to come back to this because I refuse to believe it tastes this bad.
Yeah, fair dues. I mean, maybe also this won't work for the purposes of our listeners, but also when I'm violently sick tomorrow morning, we'll actually know for sure that actually it's my taste buds that are wrong. But no, I could get... The only thing I would have thought that it could even be that Joe, you just had higher expectations of it as a pale. I mean, the casual pale, I would think if it was, if we were drinking it expecting really bold hop profile, it doesn't have that, but that might be what they were going for sort of thing. But I'm tasting it and I don't think mine's off. I know. So I just think it's casual. That's what it's gone for. So either way,
yeah.
We're going to end up. I mean, we're going to end up with a real cliffhanger sort of decision on this one. Normally, we can round off beers quite nicely and say overall what we thought, but I feel like I might be the only one who's got a genuine article, and I'm now so influenced by you guys saying yours are off that I don't feel I can trust my own senses.
Well, I like to think we can just put a to be continued underneath this.
That's it.
And we'll have to maybe we'll tie in a hot topic next time we're recording where I do a live tasting. And we go from there.
Crumbs.
Not so good.
Should we keep this as a relatively short one? We're now up to just shy of 19 minutes. Maybe we could just move on and do... we'll leave it on the to be continued note. There you go.
Sounds good. All right then. Okay. To be continued. Ciao for now.
And that's all we have time for this week's episode of the I'll Try That podcast. And so from me, Joe,
Rich,
Barbara, and Simo,
goodbye. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Twitter,
I'll try that podcast.com, and watch us on YouTube.
Goodbye now.